It can be a dark world sometimes. Don't be afraid to be a source of light. It can be a dark world sometimes. But don't be afraid to be a source of light.
Peace, good people.
Peace.
Welcome to another episode of Soul Affirmations with Felicia and Karega.
With Karega and Felicia.
And the listener. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all on the Black Love Podcast Network.
What a beautiful community we're building.
Yes, I
the
love
Black Love
here.
Podcast Network.
Ain't nothing better, man. Black love.
It's connected to everything we need.
Man.
Shout out to y'all.
It is the finest of art. Just want to point that out. And I want to open this episode with an affirmation, like we always do. Grab your text. What else, Riga?
Tap your neighbor with consent.
Turn to page, what? 12.
Neighbor.
And it reads, I am one with Mother Earth, and in this land, love is the greatest passport.
I am one with Mother Earth, and in this land, love is the greatest passport.
Yes, love is the greatest passport. And
I need love to be a passport.
right now, as we are preparing for our 9-year anniversary.
Let me say this again. We are preparing for a 9-year anniversary differently than we prepared for any other anniversary. Because now we are trying to find somewhere to go as a family with a newborn.
Yes.
Who actually doesn't care about time or how it works or what it is or what it ain't. I think she might care that it's our anniversary. I feel like she will.
I mean, her metrics and values, all of those things, they're in a league of their own. They're
in a league of their own.
Yeah, so we've been trying to figure out where we're going to go. I feel like I've brought up some pretty good ideas that Karega has shot down.
Did I shoot them down?
Yeah. So today on our walk, I was like, well, Karega, do you have any ideas? And Karega's like, you asking me like I ain't been participating in this conversation with you this whole time.
No.
But I asked that way nice. Because
no, it wasn't even like that. This is how it went. She said, we're having a conversation, actively having a conversation, trying to figure out where we want to go. So she wants to point out that she made all the recommendations so far that I did not agree with. So where are your ideas?
So do you have any ideas?
Asking somebody, do they have any ideas while you see them like with scratch paper working on ideas? It's such a backhanded inquiry. You don't really care if they have ideas. You see them thinking, but you're trying to show them. That's what happened.
What I was really trying to communicate is I'm tired of Karega shooting down my ideas. Now I said it. There it is. 9 years. I said it. I said how I felt. Really, it is an honor to be celebrating 9 years with you. And it's sneaking up on us, to be quite honest.
But surely sneaking up.
Yeah. And honestly, we don't even know what we finna do.
Yep.
It's tomorrow. And it's tomorrow. That's not cool, man.
Well, I have some ideas now, but the reason why we feel like we didn't know is because some of Felicia's ideas I didn't want to go.
Karega has shot down so many of my ideas. But really and truly, so it's out of this year is totally different, right? Everything is different. We're coming out of this pandemic in California because California is now opening back up. So there are things that are open to us now versus last year. We weren't able to do as much because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But the years prior, we've done quite a bit. So our homecoming, our honeymoon, we did Jamaica. It is on my mind. Our honeymoon was in Jamaica. We did Westmoreland. And we went to Kingston.
Of course.
The following year was that the Belize year, the Bahamas year, and the Baton Rouge year.
That was all in 1 year?
We did all of that in 1 year.
Wow.
I mean, that was one trip. That was July. No, it was like June, July.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, Cabo.
Cabo.
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. That was Cabo. Yep.
Wait. No, we were married in 2012. No. That's right. Cabo.
Yeah, Cabo.
It was Cabo.
Right after June.
Yep.
Right after.
No, we went. No, we went to Cabo before.
That's right.
And then we came back.
Yep.
That's when we experienced the loss of Kareem.
Yep.
And we had already had a trip to go to Essence.
Yeah, we were going to New Orleans.
That's what it was. And then the year following, 2015, what did we do? That's when we moved. But before we moved, where did we go? Man, I can't even remember. All I know, the point is we have made plans every year, every single year. And we've been very intentional about leaving the country every single year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then this year, you hear what she gave as a rich history of the things we tend to do. This year, Felicia was like, we should go to an aquarium. Right? And I was like, I'm sorry, we should go where?
I was like, yo, we should go to Long Beach and go to the aquarium.
And then she was like, we should go to the zoo. And I was like, yo,
we should go to San Diego Zoo.
But in my mind, I'm like, all right.
Right? These are great ideas.
But
I'm like, we should go to Legoland.
Nah. First things first. Y'all know that I outsource 99% of assembly. Okay? I'm not a Legoland type of person. And my daughter doesn't have the motor skills yet.
She can't even lift a Lego.
She can't lift the Lego, stack a Lego, and I'm not helping. That's scratched. So, but what I kept hearing was kind of like, I'm gonna tell you what it felt like. It felt like you were scheduling trips for Kamali, right? It felt like the whole thing was just a trip for Kamali, and I'm like,
and he's like, she's not gonna remember none of this. But I am trying to schedule something where cause she gonna be with us, so we're gonna be out together as a family. And I was thinking of things that would be fun. I know they'd be fun for all of us.
Which all of us?
Me, you, and Kamali.
No.
And Kabayu.
Nope, you're speaking of a different all. I like aquariums more than I like zoos. Okay, I don't like zoos. Okay, you can't take me to a zoo like, oh, I really like that zoo. I don't like zoos. Aquariums, they're cooler. I like aquariums more.
Well, I know we can't go to Disneyland. We already did that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I don't know if that's good or not to say on air, but every time I've gone to Disneyland, I've seen nothing but a bunch of kids crying. I'm coming into the park and there's nothing but a bunch of kids crying. And
coming out the park.
And as somebody who, as an educator who has worked in high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools where there are an abundance of crying kids at the end of every recess, I said to myself, this doesn't look like a place. This doesn't look like the happiest place on earth. I'll tell you that much. So, no.
Okay. So, yeah, we got to figure out what we're going to do. But again, it's an honor to be celebrating 9 years with you.
It's an absolute honor to celebrate 9 years with you.
I can't believe it's been 9 years.
And the journey to the 9. Listen, Slim, if this is the unique thing is like, okay, so we're not like young, right? But we are, wow, I don't know. Damn, did I just have like an identity crisis on air?
I don't know, Riga.
I don't know what age. I don't know what age this is considered. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know that.
Right. It's funny because.
I mean, with all due respect, okay, I've been called an OG, right? So that.
Who called you an OG?
And nothing. I was thinking to myself like, damn, OG. But I'm gonna take it, right? Because if you contextualize like how we grow, our lived experiences, right? I'll take OG. But what I'm saying is, I'm 35. Mm-hmm. Fee, I'm 33. You're still 33.
Yes.
Okay.
33.
What's in it?
Yeah.
What's in it? But
just here living it, you know.
It gets confusing sometimes because we've been together so long.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was leaning to. Like, the relationship has so much years on it.
Yeah.
Many of the peers who've been together as long as we have are older than us. Right.
Yeah.
But we are in this intersection of not in that age group yet, those experiences, right?
Right.
We still little bro and little sis to a lot of those couples.
Right. That's true.
So I think that's what I was trying to experience. Like, okay, so what is this? But altogether, this 9 years just like, when I say really crept up.
Crept up.
In the most beautiful of ways.
Absolutely.
There was no like major anxious countdown. There was no, damn, this year's hard. For the marriage, like life gave us some curves, but the marriage was solid.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about like me and you, solid, right? Mm-hmm. Life came with a bunch of curves.
These 9 years certainly have. Certainly.
Oh, respectfully, it's a whole new cast. Right. In terms of like, we've seen so many people transition.
It's fascinating when you go back and you look at those pictures.
We've seen so many new lives come in.
Man. Right.
Like the family,
Right.
the family actually looks different.
It looks completely different. I remember wedding pictures. We have Grandma, California, right? That's what we call her, Grandma, California. Grandma Ruby. Kareem, right? And at the wedding, Tariq and Sheena were pregnant with Sadiq. And
Auntie
James.
Gladys was still there.
Auntie Gladys was still there. James and Xavier were pregnant with Jalen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
right?
these are now like the 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like older siblings
We got this new set of grandkids, new set of nieces and nephews that have come up.
that weren't even thought of.
Because Irie and Jaji.
They were the babies.
Yeah.
And now they're in college.
Yeah.
So like our family literally has like developed a whole new cast.
Yeah.
A lot of changes. But this 9 years, I'm just grateful that it's been solid and stable. Solid as in something we can build on, not solid as in like a lack of description for how good it's been. The marriage is rich, but you want to be on something solid.
Yeah.
My emotions haven't had to waver with you,
Right.
not once in our marriage. I like you. I want to be around you. I joke all the time, like when we get with other couples, and I just hope y'all hear this and hear this good too. When we get with other couples who want to hang out,
This is not the case so much now, but yeah.
oh, definitely the case so much now because I've been telling them for a few years. Don't just go pair me off with the guys, right?
With Karega, I used to hate that.
Don't just, oh, the guys are over there, and don't do that. Chances are I came with Felicia because that's who I want to be with.
Yeah,
right? I like her
kick
company.
it.
She gets the jokes. We have inside jokes. We laugh. We have a good time together. And if the guys are already my friends or people that I value, then I'm cool. But sometimes being around men who haven't done the work on themselves, that is not the place to be. It's not the place to be. And being a husband doesn't mean that you've arrived at a place of doing the work on yourself. It just means that you're a husband, but there's still work to do. And marriage doesn't afford you a badge or a privilege or a way to turn your nose up at other folks who aren't married,
Yep.
or a way to create like this insider club, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
our marriage has never been about this insider club of who else is young, black, and married.
Right.
Our marriage has always been about loving more abundantly. A lot of folks have met through us because that's how we love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want folks to be well. I want folks to be in healthy relationships. Healthy relationships doesn't just look like our relationship. There are all different types
Yep.
of healthy functioning relationships.
Absolutely.
But the prerequisite for me kicking it with you in your marriage is that y'all are healthy.
Yeah.
Not that y'all are married. Not that y'all like to hang out in places that are trending and do things that young black couples like to do. That's beautiful too. I love when a union is fruitful and makes impact in the community that it exists in.
Yeah.
I love when black love is connected to how we love outside of our homes, how we show up in our neighborhoods and communities.
Yeah.
And our marriage has been a long-standing practice of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I really enjoy rocking with you in the marriage and in public in the marriage. I like how you show up in the world. And I love the couples that I love how they show up in the world. And I love how they show up for one another. That's who I want to be around. I love when you use beautiful and affirming language on your children. That's who I want to be around. I love when your children know what a child place is. That's who I want to be around. I'm keeping it a buck. To me, there is a blissfulness that childhood comes with and deserves. And it's separate from being all up in my mouth in a conversation. But that's neither here nor there. I'm saying our marriage has been in so many spaces, has seen so many different types of marriages, so many different types of unions. And I'm grateful that we value loving each other and loving on folks that are around us.
Yeah.
Right? So no matter where we go or what we do, the love that I have, the solid love that I have at the 9-year measure is a reward. And the destination isn't a reward. It can lend to the celebration. But the true reward is me feeling absolutely on fire about you as my bride,
Oh,
as my
See
friend.
my smile. This is my guy.
I think that's what has a lot to do with maybe not needing to wander as much
Yeah.
this anniversary. In fact, we might just look at some dope photos from the places we've been,
Hey,
right? And just reminisce on the stories.
as long as we can get a massage.
A good one.
That's what I desire. That's what
A good one.
real good one.
I mean, from like, I need you to be like almost like
Like a ninja masseuse.
yeah, like you gotta be dedicated to the practice.
Yeah. I want to see, when I'm looking down, I want to see your knees. I need them bent super low. Like I want to see that you are really getting in.
Precisely. I need you to be a second generation masseuse. I need to run through you. No, but on the real, like the gratitude that I have that our marriage is healthy, that we are healthy in a world that is constantly redefining what health is, that we are well, that our baby is growing healthy and strong, that Kamayu is informing the way we love, that Kamali is informing the way we learn to be present.
Right.
I'm really grateful that this is the grace that I feel. I feel well conditioned.
Yeah.
If this is 9 years, I feel well conditioned for 9 more.
Yeah.
Right? And 9 more.
Yeah.
And even though I know life is going to throw curves, because it got down in this 9.
Hey,
You hear me?
I know that for sure.
Well, no, let me rephrase.
Well,
It got down in the 8. Like the 8 really had some beat on it. Was that 7? All I know is I feel like respectfully, there is a
7, 8 years.
7, 8 year.
Yeah.
There is an upward trend that I'm okay with right now. Okay. Because the full experience of grief is recognizing it as love. And that love has taken us to a place of harvest in this marriage at the 9-year mark, where the love is rich in the home. I feel empowered about the ideas we have.
Yeah.
I feel excited about the ideas we have. I respect the boxes we no longer fit in.
Wow. How many years did it take for me to understand that? Man,
I think you made it in good time.
thank you. In my time, that's the only timing I could do it. And I couldn't be rushed.
Especially when you got Kamali and Kamayu. Now your time is just daytime.
Now it's just daytime. Yeah. I have enjoyed practicing love with you, but understanding what love looks like as a practice over these years. And I know we talked a bit about how we met, and talked a bit about how Karega proposed. I don't know if we talked too much about what life was like married in DC, probably because it looked like a lot of partying.
It was a party. It was a party.
It was a party for sure.
And I love those early years of our relationship because we had known each other so long.
Yeah.
And were so confident in each other's choices. But I remember when some folks didn't understand the way we defined our marriage in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
And even I had to be comfortable with it not looking like another marriage. These are the boxes that I had to work through. Right. And it has taken me some time to respect and be okay with who we are, and that our differences are not deficits.
Absolutely.
Right. And I'm sure we're going to go further into this narrative. We were doing something different than our peers had been doing at the time, right?
Yeah.
We're a young married couple living in a really big home. Like it was like the place to be. Had all our folks there, and even we
hosted parties.
We hosted parties all the time.
All of the time.
I was like, I had this thing where I wanted to host a party once a month, and then it got to the point where like Karega was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of it.
I don't want them to come by. But But it was because we had all these years of shared relationships and shared friendships.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful to create that atmosphere inside the home.
Yeah.
But I remember in the clubbing days, so y'all know the backdrop is I used to work security in the parties Felicia would go to in undergrad, right? That's how we did it. She would party, I would be working undergrad security. So when I was working security in undergrad, I started to go work security up in DC for these special parties. So it gave us access to the DC party scene because I was working security.
Man, oh man. I feel like the first one I went to was called, was that Olive?
Dave and Ray did it.
They did.
They did it too.
And so we used to go on Monday nights. We used to go to Sky Lounge. Do you remember that? Tuesday nights we used to go to. I don't think we did anything Tuesday, but Wednesday was Josephine's. Thursday was Shadow Room. Friday was Bar 7. Saturday, if you wanted a good dose of hood, you go to that Lux Lounge. It's not there no more, but boy, I used to love to go to Lux. And then we started doing, shout out to Primo.
Of course.
Park on Thursdays.
Of course. Shout out to Primo. They got to retire his jersey.
They got to. And we never missed a Thursday, y'all. Never missed a Thursday.
So the thing was, being a young couple, people had a hard time understanding, like when they saw us out or saw one without the other, or we were on different floors in the same club, right? Because we didn't need to police each other in that social setting. We shared so much value and respect for one another, and so many mutual friendships. You know, it was just still part of like the way we were designing what we thought fun and decompression was after a long week of either grad school research or, for me, teaching, right?
Yeah,
and let me just name this: teaching and leading in Southeast DC and Northeast DC. I needed all of my party days. You understand me? I needed each of them, because I didn't like to go out with my colleagues to happy hour. I wasn't him. I don't want to go with y'all.
I wasn't like that either.
No, I know who I want to go kick it with. I'm about to go get it with them right now. But I think the marriage is taking so much growth, and I love how we've grown through it.
Yeah.
I also love the legacy of love that we leave in the name of this union. I admire how you love the people I love. I admire how you show up for folks that were part of my life that are now part of our lives.
Yeah.
And I certainly appreciate and love the friends you brought into our life, far and wide. The relationships from grad school, especially when you're going to grad school at Howard, you're just going to meet some solid folks that become part of your life differently and long term.
Yeah.
So our marriage has been a beautiful story, interwoven fabric of friendship, right? It just all comes out the same city. It all comes out of South Sac.
Yeah.
So even shout out to South Sac.
And I feel like I've learned so much in this marriage. One of the greatest lessons has been, and I said it briefly before, but it is understanding what love as a practice looks like. That has been, I think, the defining lesson for me, and being able to see in one circumstance, right? And see with that lens of love rather than judgment, rather than comparison. Our marriage, and not comparing our marriage to anyone else's, letting it be our own. I love how sweet sounding Kamali's cry is. And I don't know if you can hear it, but she is making another guest appearance with us today, and I think she might be excited about celebrating our anniversary.
I told you. I talked to her about it on all the walks leading up to this. I was talking to her like, Kamali, tell me, what should me and mom do with you? What would you like to do as well?
Yeah.
But it's really a blessing to practice love with you in this way.
Yeah.
It's an honor to know love and the depths and the beyonds and the grace that it holds. And if this is what I've learned in 9 years, I look forward to what we can teach our children when they are of age about love, not just from our rhetoric, but from what they see in real time.
I want to pick an affirmation that I'd like to take with me into our 9 year.
Nice.
And we've actually already used this affirmation in an episode, but it's one of my favorites. So I'm going to bring it back to the space, and I'm going to ask you to turn to page 16. And it reads, love as a philosophy is much easier than love as a practice. But when we choose to practice love, it will challenge our philosophy and change the way we respond to what challenges us. Today, I choose to practice love. So does Kamali.
She loves that one.
Tell us about it, baby.
Tell us about how you practice in love. I think in response to love as a philosophy being much easier than love as a practice, thank you for making me want to come to practice. Thank you for the way we practice together. It's a joy to come to the practice of love with you. It's been a joy to come to the practice of love for the last 9 years of marriage. Even in the many storms it's endured, I'm grateful that every storm we had the safety of love. I'm grateful for every challenge we endured. We had the safety of love. And I'm grateful for the abundance of joy that the love has brought to you and I, our family. I love you, Fee.
I love you. Thank y'all.
beautiful.
Thank y'all for joining us for another episode.
This ain't just any episode, though. This is like
Thank y'all for celebrating our 9-year with us. How about that?
And if you happen to be from the Caribbean, I want you to slap a wall for us right now. If you just find a wall to slap. If you have a lighter near you, I would appreciate a few lighters in the air.
Karega.
This is a big ordeal.
This is.
You asked me. That's how I celebrate.
I love that. Okay. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so
hopefully we be getting these massages, man.
Yep. And hopefully we're celebrating a growing audience here at the Black Love Podcast Network.
That. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning to another episode of Soul Affirmations with Felicia and Karega.
With Karega and Felicia.
Be sure to rate, review, and follow the podcast. Follow us online and leave us your thoughts, ideas. By this time, you know what? I'll take a few recommendations for some bomb masseuses in the Oakland. I'll even go to San Francisco. If you happen to know some fire masseuses, drop us some recommendations, because this massage coming up won't be the last. I'm gonna build in a maintenance practice of these massages now that we're allowed to go back outside.
Hey,
because I got some kinks I got to get worked out. All right.
Thank y'all again.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.